It seems logical to say that to get better at Hyrox, you need to do more Hyrox workouts. But the truth is that taking this approach too far can actually be more detrimental to your results and you getting the time that you want. Okay, so I know the title of this video seems a little bit dramatic, but genuinely, for some of you, that might be the message you need to hear to actually get better at Hyrox. Because the way a lot of people do Hyrox workouts is that they sign up for Hyrox and then Hyrox specific workouts, so we're talking about your compromised running with stations in between, will make up the bulk of their training all the way through to a race day. This can mean a lot of stones get left unturned, but one of the big problems is how you perform these. Most people will go onto Instagram, find a workout, oh, that looks fun, that looks hard, I'm going to do that. And that's the style of training they do. Now, just like any other element of your training, whether that be strength or your running, it needs to be progression. With strength, you might try and lift more weight or slower tempo, whatever that may be. When it comes to Hyrox workouts, it needs to be a clear progression. One week should link onto the next. And a lot of people simply don't have that, which means all they're doing is they're working really, really hard, but you're getting random stimulus, which is going to therefore lead to random results. And initially, of course, if you've never done any Hyrox style training, go and do a load of Hyrox workouts for a few weeks is going to get you slightly better at Hyrox, but from there, it's going to completely level off. These need to be programmed and progressed as with anything else in your training. And as with any other goal that's hinging on you performing on a specific day, your training should change depending on how far away you are from said day. The further you are away, so let's say 12 weeks, your training should start a little bit broader, and the closer you get, the more specific you can get. The problem with really focusing on doing Hyrox workouts, now, obviously an extreme example, by the way, is that I'm not assuming that someone's just going in, training 5-6 times a week and just doing Hyrox style workouts. I mean, someone that's going in and doing 3 Hyrox style workouts, 1 strength, 1 run. That's really what I'm talking about here. The problem this causes is that you haven't actually learned to do anything really well or go about anything before you're doing under fatigue. So let's say you're not very good at the sled pull. If you haven't learned really good technique when you're fresh and got a bit stronger via your deadlifts and heavier sled pull, whatever, how are you then going to perform this under fatigue on the day if that's all your training? You haven't got better at something, so therefore doing it in a compromised state is going to be harder. And the same goes for the running. Now, Hyrox workouts can be great, but once you've done the other stuff first and you've laid the foundations. In fact, yeah, Hyrox workouts are great, and at some point in your training, the closer you get to the day, you should all be doing them. But you almost need to earn the right to do these. And there's a couple of things you need to make sure you do before you start doing Hyrox workouts to make sure you're in the right place, especially if you're a beginner. Number one, you need to practice all the stations to make sure your technique is good, fresh. If your technique's not good fresh, it's not going to be good when you're fatigued. Running is where this is most important. You need to get good at running before you can do it compromised. Physiologically, there's quite a big difference because your legs are going to feel heavier, your heart rate's going to be higher, you're going to be breathing heavier. That's going to make it a whole lot harder. Mentally, it's also going to be harder, okay? You need to get good at running in isolation, so get used to the distance you're going to need to run before you start doing it compromised. You also need time on the feet, okay? If you're doing a solo, you're probably going to want to be able, or at least have the ability, to go out and just run for an hour and a half at a steady pace, because that's how long your event's likely to be on average. And if you're not used to that sort of time on the feet, you're just setting yourself up to really gas towards the end of the race. I certainly know I did that big time, okay? And I'm not saying this because I want to make anyone feel bad. Like, I genuinely don't. But I've spoken from experience. In fact, look, my singles time is certainly not setting the world alight still, but I've learned from some mistakes I've made, trained people to get some really good singles times. And since I'm here telling you how to train as a coach, that's probably the most important thing, because I know in my first Hyrox, I mucked up the sleds completely because I'd only trained them during Hyrox style workouts. I'd barely done any sled push fresh, which is how I know to tell you, you need to do all of this fresh. So you need to make sure you've got your running on lock before you start doing compromised workouts. Start your program, get more running volume in, get strength foundations in. The muscles you need, single leg work, deadlifts, rows, lunges, that sort of thing, okay? And then the closer you get, right, now we're going to start making it a little bit harder. Intensity can go up. So high volume to start with, intensity can then match it. And then once you're 4 or 5 weeks into your training, you can start doing all these Hyrox workouts and you're going to start seeing the results because it's going to tell you what part of your training's worked thus far, okay? And then obviously when you get close to the event, you need to taper, reduce the volume straight down again, but that's a different video. So if anything I've spoken about today resonates with you and you think, oh, I'm struggling with that, then the title of this video is for you. You need to stop doing Hyrox workouts for now and go and earn the right to do them again. Work on your strength, work on your running, then come back to it. Because we all want to do Hyrox workouts. It's why we enter the event in the first place, because it looks either fun or a nice challenge. So that's how you want to train. Earn the right to do it first though. Now, if you want any more tips about Hyrox, then what I'm going to do is just leave a QR code here and a link in the description for 30 ways and 30 days that you can just train better at Hyrox and improve your time for your next event or first event, depending on who you are. Whether that be station technique, nutrition, race strategy, tapering, all of that stuff I'm going to cover. Now, obviously, you can unsubscribe anytime or you can just not sign up to emails in the first place. It's really up to you. If you want more help, it's there for you. QR code, link in the description. But yeah, if you like this Hyrox video, you might also like this one. Other than that, I will see you soon.